Shalom to the Mr. Yahweh.
Shabbat Shalom.
Great to be here another Sabbath Layel.
Yes.
And reading Yahweh's word.
Yes.
And by the God of the Ruach of God, making us, giving us understanding of what he's talking about.
Yes. Praise God, Yahweh.
In the scripture it says he was in the spirit on LORD day. Lord as Yahweh day. Okay. So what do that mean? When he was on the spirit, in the spirit on Yahweh day. That's what we need to know. Was it the Sabbath day or was it the day of judgment when he saw what was going to happen? I believe that's what it meant. But let's read scripture. Scripture is going to verify that statement I just made. It's not a day of rest. It's not a day of happiness. It's not a day of joy. In other words, it's not a day to be desired, as some people think it is incorrectly. Not the Lord's will, the Lord's will. But let's see, the day of Yahweh is what? To be desired or not to be desired. Let's look at Amos chapter 5. Amos chapter 5. Is it to be a day to be desired or not to be desired? From the description that we're going to get when we read the prophecies of this day, and we can make it decide, is the day of Yahweh to be desired or not? Amos chapter 5, verse 18.
Well,
Amos chapter 5 and verse 18. A lot of people talking about they wanted to come, or are they ready?
Yeah, that's right. They don't know what they're asking.
Right.
Unless you're ready.
You can read.
woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light.
The day of Yahweh is darkness and what? Not light. It's not a happy time, right? So if you didn't have no lights, if we didn't have no lights in here, it wouldn't be a happy time in here because we couldn't see.
That's right.
Right? So it's a day of darkness, a day of gloom, a day not to be desired. So that don't sound like the Sabbath.
No.
It does not sound like the Sabbath. It does not sound like the first day of the week that some people claim. But it sounds like it's something that I don't want to occur unless I'm ready. Right?
That's right.
Woe unto you that desire the Yom of Yah. To what end? It is for you. This Yom of Yahweh is what? Darkness. And not all, it's not light. So once you come out of darkness, and darkness, figurative speaking, is representative of sin. So you was in darkness, you come out of darkness to the oil, to the light of Yahweh.
That's right.
So therefore, you know what darkness is and what it represents. You don't want that to happen. Okay? But we know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And therefore, we are preparing ourselves. So when this darkness come up on the world, we won't be troubled by it.
That's right. Praise Yahweh. That's right.
Why? Because he have taken us out of darkness and showed us his marvelous light, and showed us how to stay in his marvelous light.
That's it.
Know when the day comes, we under the shadow of his wings, so therefore, this darkness is not going to be bothering us.
No, it won't. No effect on the goddamn.
Verse 19 said,
As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him.
so that don't sound like a day.
No escaping.
This is representative of the day of Yahweh, right?
Yeah,
He said
yeah.
these are things, so ain't no hiding place either, right?
Escaping.
Praise him. Chapter 20, verse 20 said,
Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light,
Yeah.
even very dark and no brightness in it?
Very dark.
It'll be very dark. So it's not something that we want to see. So when we have a solemn assembly, it's a joy occasion.
Yes, it is.
All these verses we read don't have no joy occasion in there.
Uh-huh.
Not even for us who's going to be the believers.
That's right.
Because it's a sad time to see people who's going to be caught up in this because they've been warned
Uh-huh.
and they didn't have enough sense to flee from the darkness of the world and come into the brightness of Yahweh's Desire and be part of his family.
That's right.
Okay, read verse 21.
I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
So he's talking about not his, he's talking about those that people have set up to be his feast days. Not the one that he set up to be his feast days, not the one that he set up to be his solemn assembly.
Okay.
But the people who set up their own solemn
Right,
assembly
right.
and say this belongs to Yahweh.
Right, right.
So those are people he's telling them he hated. So when he come, they're going to be trying to do this, but they're going to try to represent this as being his day, but he ain't going for that.
That's right. He ain't having it. He
All
don't
right.
want it.
Oh, this is not what he envisioned, right?
Right, right.
So, the day that comes unexpectedly on people who don't believe it's going to come.
Right, right.
But we know it's going to come. Why?
That's
Because
right.
we read his word.
That's
He
right.
said it was going to come.
Yeah.
And all the way we read, you're going to see this day that's coming unexpected to other people who think, well, Yahweh so merciful, this ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
But a day of judgment, a day of reckoning has to come. His day's going to come. He's
Yes,
giving
it
you
is.
all this
He
time.
said it.
So you still got time until that day comes. If it comes tomorrow, you won't have no time. All right, but it's a yom that comes unexpectedly to unbelievers because they think they got time.
Yeah, yeah.
But because they think they got time, because they have not read the Desire of Yahweh and see that time is ticking.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. They think they got a lot of time. But he pointed us way back in Amos. Hey,
Yep.
this day is coming.
Yes, it is.
Be
It happened
prepared.
once. It's gonna happen again.
Just like you prepare for everything else, prepare for his coming,
Right, right.
and prepare for the day of Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
These people not preparing for the day of Yahweh. It's like, ain't no day of Yahweh.
Right.
Even people who claim to believe it, kind of act like there ain't no day of Yahweh.
Right.
All right, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. We're going to read starting verse.
But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
He said, you don't have no need that I write unto you. That means we have an idea, and we're watching the times
That's
and
right,
seasons
that's
going
right.
around, right?
That's right.
We're watching these times, we're looking at events, we know the scripture speaks about these events, so therefore we look,
Uh-huh.
we look and pair them with scripture and see that time is ticking.
Yes, it
Time
is.
is going down. It's
Yeah.
not getting further away, it's getting closer.
Yeah, yeah.
We're getting closer to this time.
Yes, it is.
Not farther away from this time, see?
That's right.
All right, verse 2 says,
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night.
so, we know, believers know.
Yeah, yeah. Praise Him.
Because he done told us.
Praise Him.
He
Praise
warned
God.
us.
Let us
So
know.
therefore, we prepare so it won't come up on us like a thief.
Yeah, yeah.
We know it's coming.
Yes, it is.
But the unbeliever don't know it's coming. They don't believe it's coming.
Yeah, they
So
don't
therefore,
think
they have fooled themselves to believe it's not
Right.
going to come.
Don't think a day like
Okay,
this is coming.
perfectly that the yom of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night. It's coming as a thief in the night because you haven't reconcile to the Dava of Yahweh and embrace the Dava of Yahweh and follow his word and see what he said was going to happen.
Right. So you're not
And look at some
prepared.
events and see that some of these events that happened. He
Yes, they
prophesied that they were going to happen through
Yes, they did.
his prophets or through his disciples,
Uh-huh.
and through his son Yeshua.
Right.
So we got to know.
Yeah,
Verse
you
3
know, but
says,
you know,
verse 3,
For when they shall say, Peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
again, that's telling us that today is not going to be a happy time.
That's it.
It's not going to be a happy time. There's going to be some gloom going on in
Lots of it.
some dooms, and the scripture said they're going to be running to the rocks and down the rocks to fall on them.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a happy time.
No escaping.
The day of Yahweh or the Yom of Yahweh is not a happy time.
No, it's not.
So if you come to realize it's not going to be a happy time, even though when you read it, it says the day of Yahweh, it looked like over there it was like a happy time, but it wasn't a happy time. He was in the Ruach, and he seen what was going to happen on the Yom of Yah. And somewhere he gave us some insight on what's going to happen.
Right,
Therefore, we know it's going to happen.
That's right. He's
We know some
warning
things
us.
that are going to happen. We see some things that are happening.
Yeah.
And then we continue, we're going to see more things that are happening.
Yeah.
And then we're going to know that the time is closer. It's closer today than it was yesterday.
Yes,
It's going to
it
be
is.
closer
Yes,
tomorrow
it is.
than it was today.
Yeah.
All right? Each day is getting closer and closer. So it's time for us to get up
That's right.
and
Wake up.
be counted.
Yeah. Praise Yahweh.
Verse 4 says,
But ye, brethren, are not in darkness,
yeah.
that the day should overtake you as a thief.
So we're not in darkness.
Yeah. Praise
So
God.
now you see who it's talking about.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
unbelievers, it's a thief. It's going to come to them like
Uh-huh.
a thief because they're not prepared for it. They don't think it's coming. And when it comes, it's too late.